So the judge in Bryan Kohberger's case on Thursday criticised the defence team for a questionnaire that they sent out to approximately 400 local residents and possible jurors who could preside over the case. So John Judge's harsh remarks come as the attorney for Kohberger pushes to get his trial moved to a different county, alleging that Latah County residents are biased towards her client. One thing that I wanted to note is that Ann Taylor spoke about having 400 potential witnesses. I hope that the 400 potential witnesses that Ann Taylor spoke about aren't people that she sent a questionnaire to, as Ann Taylor for a long time has said that she needs to get the trial moved because she can't go through all the evidence on her own, but has somehow found the time to make a questionnaire and then distribute that to the local residents of Latah County. Kind of counterintuitive as to what she's trying to actually do. So Thursday's hearing actually began with prosecutor Bill Thompson listing out some of the specific questions that the defence included in their survey distributed out to the local residents, which included things like, have you read, seen or heard about Bryan Kohberger's arrest at his parents' house in Pennsylvania? Have you read, seen or heard if police found a knife sheath next to one of the victims? Or have you read, seen or heard that the DNA found on the knife sheath later matched to Bryan Kohberger? The judge noted the defence submitted this to over 400 people without the permission of the court and without discussion with the state. Both Bill Thompson and the judge suggested that the questions inside of that survey detail too much information about a case that already has a gag order. Your Honour, there is absolutely no question that these questions are disseminated by means of communication, evidence expected to be presented, evidence that could or would be inadmissible at trial, Thompson said. I will say there are a number of these representations placed in the form of a question by representation of fact that are not true. He also added that the questions go far beyond concerns of a public sentiment, which was supposed to be the purpose of the questionnaire, to determine which members of Latah County, if any, could sit on a jury in Kohberger's trial and fairly judge evidence presented by both sides. So Ann Taylor was gathering evidence ahead of a venue change hearing, during which they would make their case to move his trial to a larger jurisdiction. So Taylor's office actually hired a social psychologist by the name of Brian Elderman to conduct the polling, but she later conceded that many of the questions that he constructed were not factually correct. Elderman, meanwhile, denied violating the gag order over Kohberger's case with his questions, writing in a signed declaration that none of them included any information that was not widely reported and available in the public domain. But the judge had his own words to say about this one. It's kind of ironic that we've worked so hard, both sides, to protect a fair trial, and our concern from the very beginning was all the media stuff floating around about your client, Mr. Kohberger, to get a fair trial. And some of these questions actually create a concern that they're inculpatory and that it could be prejudice for this client. The judge also stated that he was surprised the defense and the prosecution didn't get together to determine what information should be released to the public. And the judge also took issue with the defense's claim that he violated due process by preventing Kohberger's attorneys from continuing their survey of prospective jurors. I mean, that's troubling, judge said, adding later that this is a big deal and I take it very, very seriously. Kohberger's attorneys have argued that due to the high-profile nature of this case and the publicity surrounding it, that Kohberger's trial should be moved elsewhere. Ironically, as the defense released information to Latah County residents that a judge in the case sees as inculpatory. But I hope that helped in understanding some of the things that went down in Kohberger's case this week.